Hi guys, and we are recording. This is the Q&A, the first one of 2026. So welcome, January 5th, 7 p.m. You guys are the ones that want to this market off hot, so that's why you guys are here. So what I'm going to do is first, we're going to be diving into what did I tell you guys last year, exactly around the same time. Then we go talk about what is the impact of Venezuela and a potential war on the housing market. Then we go into my predictions of the housing market, and then we dive into the Q&A. But before I do all of that, I am part of TRIA. TRIA is a non-profit real estate organization, and we have our first main meeting coming up on Thursday at 6 p.m. in downtown Raleigh. Reason I ask you about your goals is we have a live coach. I have a coach that I'm using, and we have a coach that is there that will be telling you on how to set goals, how you can succeed in life. I personally can recommend the coach. Coach has changed my mindset, and that's why last year for me was a transition year. And I'll talk more about that if you guys want to. But that will be on Thursday, and then on January 24th, I'm doing a show and tell in Raleigh. I'm going to show you my. By accident, I became the biggest property owner of 5 Points. So we're going to go through 5 Points, show you some properties that I'm doing there. And then we're going to other properties in Raleigh. We're probably looking at about 5 to 6 properties altogether in different phases of the new build. So some of them we might be even moving a house. I'm lifting a house up and moving it, finally. Some of them are in the rough-in stages of the stuff, and some of them are just moving dirt. So join me the 24th, 9 a.m. It's on the TRIA website, tria.com, if you want to see it there. All right. Oh man, last year on this call at around this time, I sat here with a sweatshirt on because it was cold, and I predicted that we're going to see major inflation in this year. Now, that was the first false one that I told you, because inflation was a little higher than the Fed wanted it. So maybe that's my excuse. But inflation was at 2.73% last year, which, that's not a major inflation. The reason I said that is around this time, Trump inauguration was just around the corner. We had 2 more weeks to go, and we were all very worried about tariffs. What was he going to do with tariffs? We all knew what his program was, and so that was just something we were worried about. We were also, or I was worried about, I should say. We also were worried about. I was worried about Bitcoin, crypto. So I sold all my crypto as soon as he got into office, and year over year. Crypto was evaluated in January of last year at 99,000. It went majorly up, and now it's sitting at 91,000. So that didn't happen either. The affordability that Trump wanted to work on, that Trump is predicting to work on in 2026, didn't happen either. Right? We didn't see an affordability push. We did see him fighting with the Powell, had the Fed chair, trying to get interest rates down. But there were no tax credits. There were no, hey, if you build here, then you get an incentive or stuff like that. That has not happened yet. Now, I did warn you that if inflation was going to happen, that your dollar will become worth less. Again, inflation did not happen either. I predicted that interest rates slowly would go down. End of the year last year, we were sitting at almost 7% interest rate. Right now, we're sitting at 6.1. I did say we're not going to see a spike in real estate activity, and year over year, we are seeing the same amount of numbers. Right now, we're tracking to sell 4.1 million units nationwide. So overall, there were some missed predictions in there as the inflation and the affordability. But I think overall, as far as the housing market is going on and rate and where the rates would be, I was pretty on par. So that being said, what am I looking at this year, and what do I think of this year? It's really hard for me to say. So if you want to have a prediction, I'm going to give you a prediction until May of this year as far as interest rates. Why May? We all know that in May, Powell is up for election. Powell heads up the Fed. We all know Trump and Powell are not. I mean, they don't hang out outside the office, right? They're not going to each other's house to drink a beer, so they're not friends. And by the way, none of this is political. This is just pure observation, right? So what do I think? That I don't think that Powell is going to get reelected. I do think we're going to see somebody in office that is more in favor of the president, and that will drive prices down. Will that drive house prices down? I don't know. And the reason I say that is one of the predictions I have always said to you guys, and I've been right for the last 7 times since September of 2024. I have always said I do not like when interest rates go down. When interest rates went down, when the Fed lowered interest rates, mortgage rates always jumped up. That always happened for the last 7 times. It happened September of last year, November of last year, December of last year, and it happened this year as well. So what do I think? If the Fed is going to lower interest rates, what happens with mortgage rates? I just don't know. The mortgage rates is tied to the 10-year Treasury. And the reason the mortgage rates are right now sitting at 6.19 is because the 10-year Treasury bond is also lower. Why? More people are afraid for the war in Venezuela or a war. That means they're going to invest in a stock or in a product that gives them more security. And investing in the government at this point gives them more security. The more people that invest in the 10-year Treasury, the lower the interest rate is that the government is going to offer. The lower the interest rate on a 10-year Treasury, the lower the mortgage rate. So then I make a quick switch to the war, and then I'll predict what I think activity-wise we're going to see. The war can be good for housing. 10-year Treasury, more people investing in 10-year Treasury. I'm not saying a war is good. By no means did I say that. I say the war could be good for the real estate market. So it's not something, oh, we're going to war, I have to pull out of the real estate market, I got to run. Often we see when there's overseas wars that that more and more people are fleeing to something that is hold value, like real estate, maybe sometimes the stock market. But real estate normally does well during uncertain times. When there are uncertain times, more people will invest in the 10-year Treasury, interest rates will go down. My prediction for 2026 is that we will sell 4.3 million homes nationwide. So we're going to see an uptick in real estate. We're going to see an interest rate that will flirt with the 6%, but it's in the 5%. So it's going to be high 5s, very low 6s. That's where interest rates are going to be. And you will see an uptick in real estate, but you have to focus on areas where the demand is already high. So try to think about what I told you last year. If it's easy to buy, it will be hard to sell. If it's hard to buy, it will be easy to sell. Meaning, if you have no competition right now and you're buying a flip or you're buying a new build and there's no competition, there will be hardly any competition when you're trying to sell it. Think of that anytime you buy a property. Yeah. As far as really good opportunity zones, where do I see? Where do I invest? I invest in Wilmington. Brunswick County is just on the other side of Wilmington. Brunswick County has always been one of the counties nationwide that see massive growth. Yeah, you will see that Durham will be increasing slightly in activity, and then the surrounding zip codes to downtown Raleigh will increase. Definitely North Raleigh will remain very hot. Hey, you're talking about Oxford, Henderson. What else is there? Wake Forest is there. All the way to Zebulon. Those areas will remain hot, and then down here where I live in the Fuquay area, those are always areas where you see a lot of uptick. So those are my predictions. Let me share a few reports here with you. I always share reports that the NAR has done. So we see, bring it here. We see that the there we see an uptick in real estate, right? We see a 3.3% uptick in real estate activity. Yes, finally, we're seeing something that we were like longing for. I put up the pending home stats, and I went back 3 years. So November of 2022, we sold 4.1. We were tracking on 4.1 million units, and here in November we're doing. Oh, come, doesn't like me. 4.13. So we're getting to the same levels there. February, we won't be hitting the February numbers next year either. But what we see is that we are trending. We have been trending down for the last few years. We are finally in October and November. We went over the median. Now, what you always see in every year. This is February. This is December. This is February. There's always an uptick in real estate activity. Always in February, and that is, if you haven't heard of it yet, it is we call it after Super Bowl. For some reason, after Super Bowl, there is a major uptick in real estate, and then it goes down. So if I have properties right now that I'm putting on the market, I would consider waiting until after Super Bowl. You see every January. Where is January? This is December. January is a dip. This is February. January higher here. January is also below the median. January is always a slower month. People are just getting used to the new year, trying to set goals. There are 3 properties that I will not be waiting on Super Bowl for, so I'll publish those before the Super Bowl. But otherwise, Super Bowl is always a good indicator for some reason. Here, that was a year over year that I wanted to pull. Here, oh yeah, here, go back here. All right, so here are the gains. 2.6 increase in pending home sales gains in foreign region. Let me see here. Strategic schedule. No. I had some strategic release schedule now. Anyway, I always use this website for data. I always go to realtor.com as well. I'll do that here with you in a little bit. This is a paid report by TAR. TAR pulls local data. As you can see, there's hardly anything in 2026 yet. Yeah, we can look at the pending homes and see if I want to see if there's a change year over year. And end of the month inventory metric goals. So this is the inventory per zip code. The redder the data is, the more inventory there's on the market. And then the darker greener, the fewer there is. So the hottest markets are here in the orange Elements County. And then you come here to more Lee County. You see it's very scattered. A lot of inventory here. And then you have Wayne County. You have that over here. So I guess this is Harnett County. Is that Lee Moore? Yeah, that must be Wake, Harnett County here. So if you're looking in buying properties, it seems like the 7 maps. Let me see which zip code this is. Angier market. Cool. The Angier market. This is 27. This is Angier right here. So Angier seems to have a lot of inventory for some reason. So Angier has a lot of inventory. The report won't show that right now. I don't think so. Let me see if we can see some new builds report. I know that there's a lot of new builds going up in Angier, so that might be the reason why there's so much inventory. Let me see. Here, Harnett has a lot of inventory. Diesel markets, Harnett is very slow. It doesn't show why if it's new builds or not. So current count. So if you go quickly through this list, Wake, Durham are the lowest in count. Wake County is kind of low. Days on the market, if you want to go into a competitive market, 69 is the lowest in Durham. I wonder which zip code or if it is price related, because I experience it different in Durham. And then here is another one, Wake County, 62 days on average on the market, and another Wake County for 92 days on the market. So there must be a different price point. Yeah, it's a different price point. Going to a different reports here, the December status of active real estate. So here again, and you can see by zip code 2775 is the zip code where I live. You have a lot of inventory here on the market. And then again, it goes down here to Johnson County, Wake County, Durham. It's all about price. So again, those are some basic numbers here. Overall, we're looking to go up. The reports for January are coming up in the real estate reports for December coming up on January 14th and January 11th. So I will tackle those in our next Q&A in February. It's always a month behind. So that's what we're looking at. All right, let me dive into the questions and some of the goals. So let me see if anybody had any questions. Tori, what kind of quotes per mile have you been getting to move a house? $60,000 per mile. I mean, here, this is what I'm doing, and I'll put it on the TRIA website when I know the date. Right now, it's scheduled for January. I don't think it's going to happen. But this house, and I'm doing a show and tell here on the 24th, so maybe we see the house move, or maybe not. We'll go earlier. But this house is going. That house is going there to there, from here to there, where this car is.
Erik, I don't think we can see.
Would be, yeah, thank you. Would be great if I share my screen. Sorry, I'm showing my hair color. All right, so this house is going from here to here, and it cost me $35,000. There's no lines other than here. There's some lines here, and there's some lines here in front of the house that they have to move or bring down. That's all. That's all there is. So, Tori, I would say this is not even. I don't even know if it's 200 yards. Oh, so I would say right now, I don't know what the mileage is per mile, but I'm paying a lot. Brad says goals competing around. See at least. PK says I see a 30-year at 6.2. Yeah, 6.1. Depending on where you look, maybe tax return refunds can use a late winter spike. Yep. Marty says maybe a tax return. Tax returns. I like to use tax returns always to. So I have a 10 unit. It's all filled, but I have problems in 2 units. So in this period in time, instead of evicting people, I tell my management teams, if the tenants that are behind are making continuous payments until the beginning of April, they have until the beginning of April to pay me whatever they are behind back to me. Because in March, April, May is normally when you see tax returns hitting. So to avoid a $5,000-$6,000 turnover and eviction fees, I'm asking my management teams, let's work with them, make sure that they continue to pay, right? Let's go. And if they're more than $5,000-$6,000 behind, I won't do it. But these tenants are around $2,000 behind. I'll tell them, like, hey, work with the tenants, have an agreement in writing that if they continue to make payments, they have until April to make the payment. If they then don't do it, we still evict them. And if we have to evict them now, it will be on their record. So we're giving them a chance to catch up. Great way for tax money to do that. Brad is asking why moving it. Brad, we're on this piece of land that I just showed you. We're building 5 townhomes. So the original plan or the numbers were really great by demolishing this house, but this house was built in 2018, so it's a brand new house, and we will be building 5 townhouses here. So by moving it over there, we sold it for $250,000 to a seller. We are making an additional $250,000 on this deal. So it's a win-win. We make extra money, plus the buyer of this house makes some money as gets a house for dirt cheap. So that's why we're moving it. Fire away with your questions. I want to dive into some of your goals. Mariana, get your first deal. I would just say get your first deal by when. Make it. A goal without a timeline is a dream. Don't make it a dream. Lies close more deals close deals monthly in real estate wholesaling. How many lies? How many are you going to do a month? How many do you want to do a month?
Right? Ideally 30.
30.
At least.
Remove the word. Remove the word ideally.
Sorry.
Remove the word ideally.
2 per month at least.
I will be doing 30 a month.
30 a month?
Yeah. Here's my philosophy. Here's why I'm doing 20 builds and I'm only 1.5 years in. If I aim for the sky and make it halfway, I get higher than aiming for the ceiling and getting halfway. Like I read this book. It's all about mindset. Like 10x your goals. Nobody like what is life changing money for you, right? If it is $1 million, then make $1 million a goal and aim for that. And to get there, you need to say, okay, I'm doing 30 deals a month. And to get to 30 deals, that means you're going to implement systems and processes so you get to 30 deals. You might hire a VA in the Philippines for $7 an hour, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you too, Eric. That was one of my questions is I want to be able to incorporate a VA. Would you have a good referral company that I could like for cold calling?
Yeah.
There's been hours cold calling. A lot of times just don't get any answers.
I will get, I just dropped my email in the chat. Email me your question and I'll make an introduction to the company I'm using.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tiffany says, I'm newer to real estate agent, looking to learn, grow, and surround myself with leaders. You're here. But Tiffany, if you haven't signed up yet for a real estate meetup, do that for a real estate. Sign up for a real estate meetup. Meet people in person. And you can go to Trio or any of the others, but sign up for a real estate meetup. Harold says, partner with my buddy, expert to build and sell new construction home. Harold, what do you need? When are you starting?
Hopefully this month. So I think the biggest piece we're getting hung up on is the land and how to evaluate land and where to find land. The other stuff I think we can figure out, or we have some good contacts, but that's the main question that we have right now.
So it's all in the numbers, and you need 3 numbers for that. You want me to show you how you evaluate a deal?
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, and I guess more specifically, just what you're looking for in the land specifically.
So there's different builders, and so I come from the clinical research space. And the reason I wanted to mention that is I've mentioned this on the call before. It's like in the clinical research, you're doing a study on an animal and it needs to be performed 100 times in this way. There is no variance. If you do it differently, the research failed. The beautiful thing about real estate is what you're doing, you're very successful. What I'm doing, I'm very successful. There's the saying multiple roads lead to Rome, or at least that's what you're saying in Europe. You know, it's very true. It doesn't mean what I'm doing is going to be your success as well. But here's how I'm doing it. Let me go to property that I purchased. So during my show and tell, I'll take you to this property. This property right now looks like this. So from this to this dirt, these are my new builds as well. Next to it. So I bought this for 85. Let me see something real quick. Where is this? I can get it out of here. If you're on the calendar, I have for people to use. All the recordings are here, but I also have this one. So these are some other deals, I guess. But let's say I bought it for 485. My building budget for this one is 665. And the ARV that we are anticipating to get, it's over 2 million, but let's just do it this way. Is 1.8. So when you evaluate deals, so my profit on that particular deal will be that. And the total loan will be that, total fees will be that. I calculate a 12% holding fee. I calculate the points, lender fee per month. I holding it for, okay, that's wrong, for 9. So my profit just changed. I do realtor fees at 8, and this is the total loan that I'm going to be in it for, and I'm making that amount of profit. So the land per se does not matter. You need to know what are you building there, right? So because you need to kind of work backwards in the real estate, and so that's how.
But is there something you're looking for, like as far as zoning and those kinds of things? Are you focused on anything, or?
Yeah, I do infill lots. So this house. That was just the house I showed you. This 303 Bicket, and on this, oh no, that's 301. On this lot, I'm building 3 homes on this lot. So if you do an infill lot, so you need to work with somebody that knows all the zoning. And so somebody told me that on this triangle lot, I could build 3 homes. So we're building 3 homes right now here. This is that other lot where I'm building 1 home. So you need to know somebody, either a surveyor, or you need a partner with somebody that knows the zoning for that particular property. But if there already was a house, most likely will you be able to build a house back and there. UDOs, the underforming codes, had the codes that every city has. I don't know them by heart, but in Raleigh they're different than in Durham. As different as China is from America, right? So every city has their own UDOs. Every city has their own thing. Now, in Raleigh, here in Raleigh, you have the transit district. The transit district is in this area. It means they want high density. That's why on this property, That's why on this property where there's now one house, I am able to build 5 townhomes from here to there, because the city of Raleigh wants high density. So you first need to start with, if you identify land, and there's a lot of land right now available. If you identify land, then you need to know, what can I build there? And from there, you do the math backwards, right? So you know, okay, this is going to be my sales price, and then you work your way back, if that makes sense. I build, and I'm not a builder, I'm not a GC. My cheapest house, if entry level, I built for 160 a square foot. That $1.8 million cost me $215 a square feet to 200.
Eric, how many days on market are you expecting for those townhomes? And also, is that the sale price, the 485?
Which one? This one? The 1.8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be for that house. It will be higher. We're building a bigger house. We appraised everything for $495 a square feet in 5 points, but now properties in 5 points are selling at $550 a square feet, even 600.
Mm-hmm.
So $495 is very conservative. We're going to get our numbers. It is weird. So you've been with me for a long time, and you've seen a change. But in last year was really a change for me, the way I do business. I used to be doing Section 8, entry level, blue collar. I want to be on the cheapest to cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And that really almost hurt my business. And right now you see a lot of people moving into the expensive market because it is just there's a lot. This property we put on the market for sale. Right now we're not done. That's why we don't have pictures. But the pictures for that project are here. This will be in my show and tell, because we're probably doing an open house during that time. But we bought this house this way, as you can see, completely burned. Let me go up here. The entire roof. We took the entire roof off. This is there. This is October. This is November, by the way. This is not a long time frame. This is 2 months in and out. So we changed the roof. As you can see, we completely did new framing. The entire upstairs had to be done, completely be done. New roof, plumbing new. We added a new bathroom, insulation. We did automation throughout the house, so you have a speaker security system, all of that. So we went from all of that. Right now, I don't have to lay the stain on the floor. We're going to go live in 2 weeks, so you see the final product. But we painted all the walls nicely. The kitchen looks completely new. And we bought, so you know that I don't lie, we bought it for $785.
Nice.
We're on the market for 1.3. And we put into this house 185. Still $16,000 left in the budget.
Mm-hmm.
This house, we already had 20 million views online. 20,000 views online, sorry. I wish 20 million. This house will sell. This house, as soon as we have updated pictures and we put it on the market, this house is going to sell. So it really is, and that's why I wanna hone in so much on. It really is the neighborhoods, and continue to think about if it's easy to buy, it's hard to sell. If it's hard to buy, it's easy to sell. Yeah.
Yep.
So we went there. Harold, Brad, find a good partner. Brad, Lindsley, you say find a good partner to invest. What are you looking for? Money or deals? Brad left. All right. Marty says goals to acquire my first deal by the end of the month, plus 5 flips before the end of the before the year ends. Let's go, Marty. Marty,
Yes.
go to meetups. Tell them your goal. If you there is there are programs that you can join where they teach you how to do it. Yeah, I hope you find your deals during meetups. Or do you have already a deal in mind?
I'm actually pushing myself out of my comfort zone to have my realtor do some quick walkthroughs of 3 properties that I've done numbers on, and I've let her know what my offers are going to be. And she's not investor friendly, but we have an agreement through the end of the month. So I just
Nice.
explained to her that, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I want to offer. And they're each properties that have been on the market for about 30 plus days. And this is using a strategy that I used to generate on AI, because that's my new free coach.
Nice.
but it was on point, and it said like, hey, you need to push yourself to have more friction tolerance, meaning get used to hearing no. So this is my high volume offer month. So I'm going for putting offers out there, and if I get a yes, okay. But even if not, I get past that fear of submitting lowball offers, because I've never submitted a lowball. I won a HUD bid because I think in the last call I mentioned that I was like, hey, I got my first flip, but rightfully so, I was in over my head. I got out of that one, but this one, I think most likely I will be pulling something through this method off of the MLS or through some of the wholesalers I connected with.
So I'm showing you this deal because I bought it for $785. I almost did what I always preach. I didn't do. So I tell everybody on this call, I always make an offer that you're so embarrassed of you want to hide. So they offered me this deal at $850. At $850, the deal would have worked great. But I went back and I hit underneath the table when I hit enter on my email, and I said, can you do it for $750? Luckily, they didn't scream or yell at me, and they just asked me for $785.
Nice.
Do the same thing. If you're not embarrassed, then you're making a wrong offer. But keep in mind, something has to give, right? Like if you do lowball offer and you do low DD, you're not really showing that it needs to be like this, right? Either a low offer, I always say a low offer and a convincing DD, or a high offer and a low DD. Or you do both, or do a high offer and a high DD if you really want it. Do a low offer and do a high DD. That's how you convince people.
Okay.
But you will have a deal before the end of the month. Create additional 2,000 in cash flow, Timothy says. How are you going to do that, Timothy?
I have 8 properties that I have long-term tenants in, so that's what I've been doing. But it's a real slow game for me. I've been using the equity line to buy something pretty close to where I live because I manage it myself.
Nice.
And work real hard to pay it down and do it again. But yeah, you're scaling like enormously more than I am.
There's no wrong or right? Like I saw this quote, oh man, and it hit home with me so hard. If you put a turkey in the oven for 1 hour at 600 degrees, it will burn. But if you put it in 3 hours in the oven at 200 degrees, it would be perfect.
Right.
So that means that the reason it hit home for me, it doesn't mean that me scaling as fast as I am is the right way. Like maybe slow and steady, like you're doing, which I don't think slow and steady. That is slow, steady. So don't apologize for yourself. How are you going to increase 2,000?
Well, I do have some wiggle room. I have some tenants that are paying under market rent, so I can get that. But I guess purchasing, a couple more properties near me, if I can cash flow $300-400, that's kind of been that's a pretty sweet spot for me. So it's going to take a few properties.
Friend of mine, he wrote that on a whiteboard, the goal, and then every month he wrote the months down and wrote how much did he added. Not, so if you increase increase your lease fee by $50, you added $50 in and February. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking too.
Absolutely, of course, yeah. I would love to hear people's goals and help them with that. PK says, scale my business to 15 to 20 deals a year. Why, PK?
Oh, I have done about 10 deals in 2025. Still I feel like I'm not there, right? Maybe I have to. Still, I feel like it's a hobby when you're doing at least 15, 20 deals, because I'm working in the market like Fayetteville, but I want to move to Triangle. But yeah, if you're operating in a market like Fayetteville, you have to do more deals, able to be profitable. Right? Yeah.
So my business coach, when I took that to him, so my goal is for this year is to finally do more than 3 million in my business. And the only reason I did that is because my business coach, I was like you, I was going to do 50 flips at $25,000 profit. I was going to make $500,000. And my coach goes, you're just creating yourself a full-time job. So why wouldn't you do 20 deals at $100,000 profit and make more money? So my thing for you, PK, as well, is like, why 15 to 20 deals if you can do 10 deals that make you $1 million? Focus on the right deals. And guys, to that, which I haven't said to you guys yet, I truly think that the market, like I said earlier, the market is going to pick up. We're going to do more properties than last year, right? If you buy before the market wakes up, before the spring market wakes up, people are going to call you brilliant. I've told you since 2004 to start buying, because that's what I've been doing, and I truly think that this year is the year that we're going to start cashing out, right? Every report, everybody says, no matter who you listen to, beside the people that are doing on TikTok, the click ratio, they want to get millions of views, the market is only going to crash next year. We went through correction, and we are here. The mortgage rates are lower, affordability is getting back. This year we're going to see more, and therefore I really think that if you buy before the spring market picks up, before people start realizing that this market is actually stronger than they anticipated, then you will still get good deals. So Harold, buy your property, buy a piece of land, man. Start investing. Lies, I say your name probably wrong. I apologize that I always say it when I meet you, but get your letters out now. Get your letters out, and PK, focus on fewer deals, more profit, because that's, as entrepreneurs, we don't want to create a job. We want to create an income.
Yeah. Thank you, Erik. Yeah.
Tori says, create 2,000 in cash flow. Tori, how are you going to do that? 4,000. Boom. He's already doubling.
I know you don't like co-living, but hey, somebody got to do it.
Oh, co-living. Hey, there's Pittsburgh. What's a company that makes a lot of money on that?
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, I got a question for you too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just curious, obviously you've been able to move very fast, multiple projects going at the same time. I mean, the amount of time that are building, I would spend that much time just trying to find a contractor. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, is there a contractor profile? Because I'm assuming you're paying your contractors, was it like 20%? What's the number?
It's somewhere between 15 to 20% cost plus. Correct. Yeah.
Right. I'm assuming that, like, is there a profile of a contractor? Like, some contractors are more likely to take on certain jobs worth, if you're doing this much rehab compared to a new build, or a bigger rehab. Does that question make sense?
Yes and no. So are you looking for a contractor for a flip or for a new build?
I would say rehab. I mean, it's
okay.
Yeah.
So you have a specific zip code, exactly the job, you know what you're looking for?
Right. I'm just trying to figure out, how to find the contractor who wants to work faster rather than, because I'm obviously not necessarily getting the right ones.
faster. It's always the squeaky wheel gets the attention.
Yeah.
There's nobody in this business that wants it more than you. So pardon my French, but I know the shit out of my contracts. You don't want to be my contractor. No, like I had no break over Christmas. Maybe that's why I look like this. So my contractors definitely don't get a break. Like, right? Like, hey, listen, I'm having holding fees. But my advice always is put a Facebook post out there, but be very specific. If you don't get what you need, you haven't asked for the right thing. So that's why I ask you, like, do you know what you're looking for? Hey, I'm looking in zip code in Rocky Mount, in Kingston, in Raleigh. I'm looking for a contractor that can paint a 37 square feet home, 3 colors, do hardware, do this, do that, and then see the replies are coming out. Guys, if the real estate activity is down, that means that contractors are down and realtors are down. Everybody's looking for work. So now is the best time to look for contractors. So just put it on Facebook and see what happens. I had to put my post down after 30 minutes or an hour. I just got too much.
Erik, but this I don't know if that's a good test, because I mean, this is kind of like the other thing that you say when you ask a realtor, hey, can you sell me this home in Mexico? Every one of them will say yes, right? Yeah. So
I always ask for referrals. So I never do a contractor, and I always ask for referrals. And if you do a contractor, start off small. The contract I'm building it with right now started with painting one room or putting a vanity in one property. That's how we started. I'm never going to put you in charge of a $1.3 million budget if we haven't worked together, right?
Right.
So start small, and like even for you, Tori, if you do a flip, let's have a few contractors at that flip. My father asked me, Erik, why are you doing one update call a week? I do one call tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I have all my builders have to sit on the same call, all of them at 1 o'clock. Why? They all hear what I'm doing. They all hear each other, and they all hear like, oh shit, there's more competition. I'm not the only one out there. If I fuck up, Erik has more options out there. Oh, and I didn't get all his jobs either. Shit. Let create FOMO, man. If you do a flip, go and get few people in there. They hate it. You love it.
Thanks.
Yep. Brett, 26 goal to be confident and competent in building around the triangle this year. Around the triangle, where is that, Brett? Brett and Co.
So I'm a contractor,
Yeah.
trying to get where you guys are and not be on the end that you're describing, and love real estate. And so when you talk about doing the reversal and starting and we're running the numbers backwards, I'm similar to Harold in that. How am I so confident in land acquisition that I can take that 785 home and I can put 3 on it, and then I can build it and not, go from there. So I'm lacking confidence in the very first step, and then the building past that. There's things to learn, but I'm confident in that.
Yeah. So team up with people that know it. So know your area first, right? And then you know your people. I am doing. There is a couple that came to my show and tell all the time, and they said, you know what, Erik, we want to do it, and they put a property on the contract. Let me pull this up. They're buying this property. we're going to completely tear this down. And there's going to be a very modern build up here. 4,800 square feet modern build. Profit is north of $500,000. So what they did is they have all the money. They know how to find money. They know how to raise money. They know all of that. So they just came to me and says, Erik, we want to hire you as our mentor. They're paying me some fee to say, hey, guide us through the entire process. So and I'm not trying to preach here for me, but do that. There's other people in your area, or if you're in the 5 Point area and you have a deal that you want to do, just let me know. But there are people like that you can say, right? Hey, guide me through it. On all my deals. No, sorry, I said it wrong. On most of my deals, I am giving away 50% of my profit. Why? Because somebody brought it to me, and my portion in the deal is only raising money. So in a deal, and a lot of people have heard me say this before, in a deal you have 3 things: time, the deal, or money. If you have all 3, you don't need partners. But if you have time and you don't have the money, then you need to find somebody that has one of the 3 legs. You don't need to have all 3 legs. So I rather make 1% of $100 than I make 100% of $0. And so that's why I team up with people that know these are the UDOs. This is what I can do. Here's what you can build. This is what we're building. And then off we go from there. So those people came to me and said, Erik, can you help us? And I connected with my networks, and this is what we can build. This is what you will make. And this is what I will charge. And now we're closing in the next 2 weeks. All right. So often do we want to do everything alone, and I know you and Harold are already teaming up. You're both sitting on opposite side of the screen from me. That's why I say it like that. But yeah, if you're trying to get into a new space, a new industry, team up with people that are already familiar there, because you are bringing value to them if you bring something, right? Don't do what a lot of people do sometimes to me. I get emails every week saying, hey, Erik, I want to work with you. I'm like, great. You got a deal? No. Oh, you got money? No. Oh, you got time? No. Oh, so you just want 50% of my profit? Yes. That's not going to happen, right? There's got to be a win-win. So you guys bring value. Don't underestimate. You bring value to the deal. I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Just narrow down the area first where you want to build. Because you say around the triangle. That's a lot of zip codes.
Yeah, it is.
So, all right, let's go down this list real quick. Marty says maybe tax return refund. We went to that. That was a good point. Why are moving it? I went to that. There's things. Tiffany says, how do I know what realistic time frame is? Tiffany, Jordan, you say, how do I know what a realistic time frame is? For what in particular?
My goal is to buy a 8 to 10 unit like apartment complex.
Yeah.
So how would I know what's a realistic time frame to actually do that? I set that goal for 2026, but I don't know if that's realistic to do that within, like, say 6 months, 12 months. How do I know?
I am here to help you right now. You're going to succeed here in the next 30 seconds. No, seriously, it's funny you say that, but I am selling one. It's here. I'll show you this one. I just got it appraised, so I'm refinancing it. But anyway, what is realistic? So I don't know how to answer that real quick. Here, I need to go to here. So go to, so if that is your goal, then you are not, then you should never be on the Zillow. That's one. So you need to be on Craigslist. Why is it not pulling up? You need to be on Craigslist and you need to be on LoopNet. Your main websites. Your Zillow for apartment buildings. That's why we just try to pull up this property that I own in on Zillow, and you saw there are no pictures. And here we are on Craigslist, and you have all the data down here. So, how realistic is it? I would say that you identify a property in the next. So it depends on how much time you put into it, right? Like, are you spending are you making a lot of offers? Are you making 10 offers a week? Whatever. But I mean, you could succeed within this. Property took me 3 months to refinance, which is crazy, by the way. But it took me 3 months to refinance. We're going to take this off the market because it just got appraised for 800,000. So people missed out on a good deal. And we're going to put it back on the market for a higher price. But it will take you a lot of time to underwrite it. So I would say at least 30 to 45 days to underwrite a deal. You need to look at all the numbers. What is the income? What are the costs that the owner is responsible for? There are people that can help you, of course, with how different the underwriting is in a multifamily compared to a single family. There's much more that goes into it. And then you need to give the lender a time. So I would say by March, you need to have identified a property to really make sure that you have something by September, October timeframe.
Got it. Thank you.
So you will succeed. And that was just a 10 unit that I showed you. Just go to the right website. Had you heard of LoopNet and Craigslist?
I had not, but I am being very particular about my numbers. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking I need, to have a realistic time frame. So yeah.
Do you know how to calculate the CapEx?
No.
So in the multifamily, you don't talk about the 1% rule like you do with you talk about CapEx. The property I just showed you was a 10 CapEx, meaning you're getting 10% return on your money. That's all investors are looking for. So if you just type this in, there's a formula that comes in here. Put that in place. And so what you're doing is you're doing your cost minus your loan divided by the value, and you're going to get a percentage, and that's your CapEx. That is your return on your money, and you want to be around 6 to 10%. The higher, the better. The more competition you're going to get, the lower, the more you're going to struggle with monthly cash flow.
Got it. Thank you.
Absolutely, anytime. Hey Erik, my microphone is not working. I'm looking for a good operator to invest with. Okay. Brett, you have my email, but I am raising money recently, and I have a dinner. So if you are, my email is already in the chat, but let's see if I can. Otherwise, see if I can find your details. So I'll Brett, let's connect. I am raising money, and I give double-digit returns as well, guys. That is also something you got to do. If you make good money, high tide should raise all ships. Meaning, I talked to a lot of lenders in the beginning of the year, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to have to foreclose on this person. I'm having to foreclose on this person. I'm having to foreclose on this person. I've been in the business for over 9 years, and never have I been foreclosed on. Never have I lost money for my investors. Now, did I lose money personally? Yes. I have lost $19,000, $20,000 on the flip. Or PK and I lost $50,000 on the flip. Just doing the wrong stuff. Our lenders have never lost money. Why? Over communicate. When you will be getting foreclosed on, you're over communicating, and you're not following the contract by the letter, meaning the P note, the promissory note. The promissory note, I promise that I will do this. You screw around with one lender, I would move to a different state because lenders all know each other. So when it's high tide, all ships should rise. That's why I give good returns to my lender, because it is lonely on the top alone. So make sure that you do good to everybody, right? It's your reputation that is worth you more than your bank account. PK says, Erik, do you have, I have done flips in favor of Rocky Mount, but I want to focus on business in the triangle. Yeah, but now only flips. How are you about it? Hiring flips, PS, give me some tips. So PK wants to do flips in a triangle. Again, PK, there is nothing different by doing flips in Fayetteville and Rocky Mount. The numbers are just bigger, right? Like in Rocky Mount, you pick up a flip for $80,000. Now in Rocky or in Raleigh, you might pick up a flip for $600,000, right? So, you need to know the Raleigh market. Raleigh market can still be very different. What I mean with that is, like, friends of mine are not succeeding or not having great results in Raleigh because they're just slightly in the wrong neighborhood, trying to push the market up. So know your market. Know the neighborhoods you're investing in. My product, although I am just presenting you guys with $1 million product, I am focusing on the entry level of the $1 million market. Right? 5 points, I can sell it, what I just said, for $550 or $600 per square feet, but I'm selling it for $495 or $500 a square feet. So below market a little bit, make it $1 million entry level. Then, yeah, I probably shouldn't give you guys this nudge. But then the other thing I'm buying is I'm buying south of MLK. I said I would never buy south of MLK. MLK, you need to stay away from. Here, south of MLK, here's Brexit. I'm building 4 townhomes. Closing on the deal here shortly. Raleigh South, who has heard of Raleigh South? Raleigh South is a project, yeah, Marty has. Raleigh South is a project where they're going to build a stadium. It's either a baseball or an MLS stadium, and they will be building several hotels, apartments. That is right here, right there. That is Bragg Street. The reason I am sorry,
you're not sharing right now if you intend
to. Gosh. Woo, thank you. Oh man, I'm showing my hair.
But your hair does look great.
Erik, is the Raleigh South that you're talking about, is that South Street that they closed off?
No, it's right here. So Raleigh South, if you go here, Raleigh South, downtown South. So Raleigh South is a project. I don't know if they're going to show pictures in this one, but it's right here. You see, this is 40. This is 401. So on the map, this is this right here where the roof plus is. This entire area. So let me see if there's pictures here on the images. Yeah, this is what they're looking to build. The deal's a little dead right now. You see, this is 40, this is 401. So again, in comparison, this is 401, this is 40. So it's going to be sitting right here. Yeah. If this deal continues to develop, the hurricane owner is part of it. There's other big players part of it. Then, if that deal happens, then Bragg Street sits right here between 2 downtowns. So what am I looking to do? I'm looking to build 4 townhomes there. I hate townhomes. I don't think townhomes are a success in Raleigh. There's too many. But if I have it here and I keep it as a rental, I can see what is happening down here, because as soon as this happening down there, this entire market right here is going to explode. Raleigh South right now is dead. There's not much progress. Nobody's moving on it. There is some hope that interest rates will drop and then it will continue. That's one. B, the Cary Soccer Club is thinking about applying for an MLS ticket. If they are doing that, they currently have a stadium of 10,000 seats. If they get an MLS ticket, the MLS will decline their ticket based on the size of their stadium. They will need an MLS size stadium right there. You can't go wrong with Raleigh in the next few years, guys. Omni Hotel is coming. The convention center is doubling. The Red Hat Amphitheater is moving. They're already working on that. You see Skyrise is going up and up. North Raleigh, close to the Publix, is going to have a 52 or 58 story building. Right there, right here on Capitol Boulevard. So there's a lot of things going on in Raleigh. But so PK, to answer your question, nothing is different about buying in Raleigh than it is in Rocky Mount. But you need to make sure that you know your market like you know your market in Rocky Mount and Fayetteville.
So Eric, like somebody like in my situation, like completely new to this market, triangle market, coming here, like you don't have a lot of capital, right? So I don't know how to start here. Meaning like right now I'm focusing on like not new build, like flips, right?
Yeah.
So, but even Durham and Raleigh, do you have any kind of like directions you can give? Maybe which one is better? Maybe I just want to focus one market, and maybe just to, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Raleigh market is hotter than the Durham market.
Okay.
And before I say that, guys, I don't know if you already know this trick, but Realtor.com and Raleigh data. If you ever are looking to do it yourself, just go here. Oh. I don't know why it doesn't want to pull it up right now. Hold on. Did I do it right? Sorry, it's Redskin. So you can go here and you can see the real estate data, right? We always look at it at every call, medium sales price, but what we are looking at is demand, list price all time. So it's pretty flat, but pending home sales, I'm looking for pending home sold. Home sold. Whew. Ha! Raleigh, according to this data, is majorly down. It's 10% down year over year. Okay. So Redfin and Durham data. Is 4% down year over year. So according to this data, Durham is a better market than Raleigh. So scrap what I just said. But in both markets, it is very important that you focus on the right zip code.
Yeah.
And then I would argue that in Durham right now, in East Durham, where I started, I have a flip that hardly sells and hardly get interest in. And I can show you both houses real quick. I think they're both beautiful done. But I also have a property on the market or about to be on the market. And you've been there. Marianne, you've been there as well. So let me show you. You guys, some of you guys on this call have walked this house or you've walked on the concrete. This house is coming soon because I'm waiting for the power to be turned on. Right? This house, I already have 3 agents saying we have clients that are interested in. And you see the sales price. It's a new build. This product, not even half a mile from it. I get nobody to buy it.
Is that flip?
It's a flip.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a flip. And to convert a duplex into a single family home. Both almost new builds. I mean, I literally did almost everything on this house.
Why
But
is
why is that?
yeah?
Why it is not selling?
Too much product in the flipping area, around under 500,000. People prefer new build, and the house that I'm selling for 600,000. Let's see if it comes up here. Has an incredible big yard and everything is new. So people that can afford a product like this will want something new.
Hmm.
And you can see how incredibly large this yard is. Let me see if there's more yard pictures, but everything in this house is new. So yeah, people prefer new. So again, PK, I'm sorry that I can't give you better advice, but it is always like a new market. Know your zip code, even in Raleigh and in Durham. Know your street, and buy. It doesn't matter what you buy. It always matters at what price you buy. You make the money. It sounded really weird when I heard it the first time, but you make your money when you buy.
Got it. Thank you.
Capital Home says, this is Alex Williams. I am a wholesaler. Question: did you build that calculator, and were you able to use it to bring your deals or just for business? That's a simple calculator I built for anybody that emails me. Again, you can just email me here at Erik at rrprental.com, no plural. I'll share with you that calculator, or I can answer your questions. Guys, my goal is to build 2 to 3 single-family rentals in Fuquay. Woo! Center of the universe.
Yeah, Fuquay definitely seems like a growing market at this time.
Yep.
I kind of worked with an AI to tighten up what region I want to focus on. I think there's just a lot of growth there. 502, I drove down there, had dinner at the Mason Jar, and kind of just felt out the town. Feels really cool. Yeah, and also I want to echo what you said earlier. Is like just meeting people at TRIA and shaking hands. I met my partner and mentor, who's kind of guiding me through the process, and I'm helping him. I'm saving him time by doing operations and marketing for him, and he's doing like some high-level creative finance. And but he's also kind of guiding me through this process of and I'm also sticking very close to John Schaub's book, Building Wealth One House at a Time.
Yeah.
And so I put that into the AI. I said, "You're John Schaub, tell me what area to buy in."
Yeah.
And so it kind of tightened up what regions of the triangle I should focus on and around Raleigh. So yeah, I'm underwriting properties in Fuquay, and I've got my lender lined up, and gonna pull the trigger this year.
Have you heard of the 55 bypass?
No, I heard like the 504 or something was open last year, but what is that?
So Fuquay is going to build a bypass that goes around Anger. So there's too much traffic right now. So there is a massive amount of traffic coming from Lillington and Anger in the Fuquay. So a lot of people are living south of Wake. So this is a picture of it. So they're building this right now. So in Anger, you're already seeing the widening the road. They're working on this. So this is the road to Garner, 401. Here comes Raleigh, comes in. If you look at this on the map, you go here. This is Fuquay, right? And right here, this is 55, and around. Yeah. And around here is going to go bypass. See that? So in this turn here, they're going to do a bypass that bypasses Angier and comes back into 55 over here.
Just expansion for all the, that's usually a good sign, construction like that. It means they're preparing for just an influx of traffic and growth.
And that's why Angier, you saw the data earlier, so massive availability in Angier. That is because there's a lot of being built here. Mm-hmm. I personally think if you buy something in proper Angier, you and you hold that, then you'll be good. So if you're already looking in Fuquay, I would look there as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I also watched YouTube videos. Just some brokers make YouTube videos about a market, and learned a lot about Fuquay from that.
It's growing. It's growing. Here, this is Fuquay. I live somewhere here. But this entire area, we're going to do movie theaters, shops, and they're building a whole new community here. So that is happening here in Fuquay as well. So that is alongside Judd Parkway, Lincoln Heights. So yeah,
very cool. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Tiffany already said that. Marian, for making multiple lowball offers in the same zip code in a short time, do you always use an agent? Would you ever use an attorney-approved contract instead of not driving crazy, and why? So, Marian, am I using agents all the time? Do I use a contract that is generated by an attorney? No, I have the agent can either reach out and I sometimes say to the agent, hey, can you see if there's interest around this time frame, right? Like in a big purchase, I'm involved in one big purchase that I can tell you guys hopefully something about in the next few months. But then you send out an LOI as an intent to buy, right? It's in, hey, this is my intentions to buy. It's not a contract, but this is the LOI. We're going to base the contract based on this. With an agent, you can kind of ask the same things, and hey, can you reach out to the agent and say, feel if it's worth drawing up a contract for X, Y, Z? And so that way the agent doesn't have to do so much work and kind of already has feelings out there if it's going to work or not. So does it make sense?
Yeah. So yeah, my intent is to, not drive them crazy, especially if I've never done a deal yet. Then they might question whether I'm ever going to.
No, you will. Never say that.
But the real estate agent doesn't know that.
No, but they didn't know that with me either, right? Like, and again, that's why I truly think that this is a great market to get started in, because if you were trying to get started during COVID, and I've said this on calls before, if you're trying to get started during COVID, where everybody was too busy to even look over their shoulder what just happened, right? Then they're going to say, man, go, whatever, do your own thing. Now, with the transactions down, real estate agents' income is down. So if they can generate some other income somewhere else, I would be surprised if a good agent says, no, I don't want to help you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, and find wholesalers in that area. I know you're very active in TRIA, but be very vocal and go on Facebook and say, hey, I'm looking to buy in Durham. Are there any wholesalers out there? And see what happens. There's, I think, Capital, there's already 2 different wholesalers on this call. So guys, wholesalers out there on this call, Mariana, looking in Durham, send her deals.
Well, I just in Durham.
Oh.
But yeah, well.
Hey, what did I tell you? Focus on one zip code first, Mariana.
I know. I feel like I'm limiting myself when I do that.
Yeah. All right, then Dr. G is asking a question.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Glenn here. What is your view about Henderson? Because last 2025, I closed several deals, and then I got 2 properties in Henderson right now. But there was this one property I really struggled selling it out because it's almost a year and it's not yet, sold. We already finished the project. So I was really concerned, like I want to move in the Triangle area that's why before I just started outside because, but now I want to move and invest in the Triangle. So yeah, that's where I work with an investor, and right now it's just like, I have hesitation. What can you say about Henderson and then moving inside the area where there's much
So personally, if I look here, I don't know. It was no, it was not this map. Am I still locked in on this one? Yeah. First and foremost, builders are selling more, according to this report from TAR. I'm trying to find you a heat map that I thought I had at some point. Which county is Henderson? Glenn, which county?
Henderson, that's the one going in 85, right?
Yeah.
Going to Richmond.
Well, what is the county?
I think it's what do you call it? I'm not sure if
Vance.
it's Johnstown.
Vance County.
Vance? Yeah, Vance County.
Yeah. Let's see if they have Vance County in here. Wait, Johnson, no.
Yeah, just a few blocks away from the Starbucks there.
Yeah. All right, there's no data here. Prior to the call, let me just go here. Yeah. Franklin Nash. But what you see is so inventory per zip code, right? Like you see, and Marty's also looking for deals. So what you see here, Franklin County, the higher you get, the slimmer the deals are going to get. Now, we just looked at the Raleigh data. The Raleigh data was year over year was down. Here, you're looking at the data, and it's 15% down year over year, but we're seeing an uptick trending up. I don't know much about Henderson, what is going on there, what is coming. I do know that Wake Forest, Oxford is majorly expanding. So, Henderson is in between Wake Forest and Oxford. So,
Yeah.
Hold on, where are we here?
It's just like on top.
Yeah. So Oxford is right there. Yeah. I would, if you get, so what I'm doing, I'm converting 7 or 8 flips from last year. I'm converting them into long-term rentals because I couldn't sell them. So I'm trying to keep them instead of selling them with a loss. I'm trying to keep them so I can sell them in the future with a profit. If you can't do that here with Henderson, I would do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have no indication from the data, and then again, I don't know as much as I just shared with Anger and Fuquay, but from the data that I'm looking at, and this trending up as well. Like the data in Henderson and looking at this very local report, I know this is Franklin County. Vance is just up here. It's not included, and I don't see a report about Vance County, Franklin County. Here, let's see what's happening in Franklin County. Here, Vance is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's new construction. Yeah, there is a lot of new construction kind of flirting with that area. So you see that? A lot of construction here. This is already turning pink. It's not blue, it's not cold, but it's trying to flirt with that area at the moment. So yeah. From what I'm seeing is I would see if you can hold on to it and refinance it into a DSCR loan.
Okay. Thanks, Erik. I was really inspired with what you said a while ago, that you started with the bottom feed and then you move upward when you see if you could just do few deals but with a big profit margin, that would be better than having a lot and yet.
Thank you, Glenn, for saying that. And it really was a mind change. I always wanted to have 100 rentals. Now I have 174 rentals, and I wish I had none.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? Like, so you come to an age, maybe I'm too old. You come to an age where you're like, is this really worth it? Is it worth it missing out on life? Is it worth it missing out on my kids? Is it, or do I rather have some money in the account and work a little less and enjoy the days that I still have with them, right? So thanks for that. Yeah, I do these calls to be an inspiration to people, not to sell anything, not to promote anything, I do want to tell you guys the good news, and I don't know how this happened, but I am the new president of TRIA, so that is something that will be announced as well. So thank you.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
amazing news.
Yeah, it feels as an honor. I was on food stamps in 2016, and because of TRIA, I was able to find deals, to find the people, and it all started with me wanting to give back to that community, give back to the people that have been made me great. And then last November, last November, I got elected to be the president of TRIA. So we're going to see a big change. I want to get more members in the door. I want to make a bigger impact on people, and that's why I'm doing this. You know, I like to talk about real estate. As you can tell, I've been talking for 1.5 hours. I can't stop talking about real estate. So yeah. Neil, thanks for the nice words. Any other questions? Thank you, Brad, as well, for your time. I hope you reach out to me if you want to start deploying capital and have a operator. Is there anybody that has any other questions before we go? Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. Yeah, Tori, go ahead.
Just curious. I know you kind of shine away from Rocky Mount. Just Are you aware of anything that's going on with that would-be casino?
Casino, eh? You know, I haven't heard a peep about it anymore. There is the casino. Let me Google it real quick. Or let me go to chat. Hey, chat, what's going on, chat? Let's see what is happening with the. So for those that don't know what we're talking about, the Casino Rocky Mount, the mayor that is there was a big component of the Rocky Mount. So if this is Rocky Mount, the casino is going to be sitting somewhere, I believe somewhere here. No, I don't believe it's going to be sitting somewhere here. So what they did is they widened this entire road already, made it a 4-lane, they did, I don't know if you can see it, if it's up to date, but they did street lights. Here you can see the entire construction. I mean, there's a massive construction. They did a new oh, we're back at Breck Street now. Rocky Mount, where are you? Sebulin, Wilson, Rocky Mount. They did a new exit off of 95. They did a new exit here off of 95 just for the casino. So that's where the casino is going. They anticipated a lot of economic growth for the area. There you go. Wait and see mode. So the reason, the way they were trying to push this through was by there are certain laws around that if a certain community is under a property standard, like income standard, and it really would drive the community, they could make they would make an exception for a casino or Rocky Mount, similar as if there are casinos on Native American lands, then sometimes the rules can be different as well. That's what Rocky Mount was trying to do, to say, hey, we really will be benefit from an economic growth and the input from a casino. But for now, it's Tori, it seems like from what I just saw on chat is that the deal is kind of dead, and the lawmakers are not approving of gambling in North Carolina.
That's a lot of infrastructure for a dead deal.
So one of the reasons I am very cautious about investing in Rocky Mount is that they are defunding part of the police, and they're going to increase utility costs because the budget from Rocky Mount ran over, and they're trying to make it up. two things that will make living in Rocky Mount very unaffordable. Rocky Mount needed more police to do what Durham did really great in the early 2000s, when Durham was kind of like Rocky Mount, and driving the cost of people up that already have an average income of $33,000 a year is not going to really help that community. So for everybody, do your own research. I've been very bullish about Rocky Mount. I have close to 50 rentals there, and I really was hoping that Rocky Mount would be the next Durham. But with the latest news, I would be very careful investing in Rocky Mount.
Thanks, Erik.
Yeah, absolutely, Tori. Marianne, I go to you first, and then Neil, I go to you after that. Marianne.
Did you answer the question at 7:45 about first-time investors who want to do a new build, how to finance it?
No, I did not see that. Thank you. Newbies, how so you can either get 100% lending through lenders from TRIA, or you can raise money, raise money. So lenders out there will fund 60% of the purchase, 100% of the build if you stay under 70% of the ARV at the repair value.
No, for new builds.
Yeah, and then so for same for new build. So if your new build is worth $1 million, they will not fund more than 700,000 purchase and build together, if that makes sense.
So in other words, 75, they will do 75%, and I have to come up with the rest.
You would come up with 40% of the purchase price of the land. Yes. So if the land is 100,000, they will give you 60,000 towards the land, and you have to come up with 40,000.
And then the building on top of that.
And they will fund the entire building.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to rent it out, like
Yeah.
when you pick between selling and renting.
But then you refinance into a DSCR later on.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
you potentially get some of the $40,000 back that you put in, or the down payment you put on that land.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
And if you have other assets, Marianne, you can raise money to cover that 40,000, and then just cross collateralize that. Cool. Neil.
Yeah. Earlier you talked about diligence as being a major factor along with price. Could you give an overview and your thoughts on diligence strategy? You mentioned big diligence, small diligence. Like, how do you approach that?
So let's go back to this deal. And I'll share my screen here. So this was from a wholesaler. And this was a deal we had a lot of competition on. So I offered her 100,000 less than the asking. And we had to move fast. So what I did is I asked for access to the property, and I walked it with my realtor, or I never, sorry. My realtor walked it with my general contractor. And I told them this is the only time you have access before closing. So do what you need to do to give me an update and good quote, inspect it, look at it, do whatever you need to do. And then based on that, I had to make an offer. So if you have that type of relationships, see if you can do one and done. Does that make sense?
Yes. Maybe I used the wrong term though. What I meant was earnest money, not doing diligence itself, but
sure.
use diligence money as a negotiating term.
So I offered on this one $10,000 or $15,000 DD.
That sounds low to me if you take it on a percentage basis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
I guess
that's also
if it's non-refundable, that's
it's
still
correct. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't close, I don't perform, I lose it. Right.
Yeah.
So no, that was a lot of money when I got started in real estate. I probably had $50 in my bank account, right? So it's all in perspective. But yeah,
But it's not like a 10% type of thing. It's just you just come up with what feels right.
yeah, I never do more than $15,000. No, never.
Okay. That's helpful.
But again, I wanted to highlight how I walked it properly because I was able to do so because I knew, like if you just walk it and you're like, oh, okay, let me check it out. Okay, looks good. No, don't
You
ever.
had a high level of confidence going into it. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
make sure you go in the crawl space. Make sure you go in the attic. Make sure that all of those
You
stuff.
reduce your risk of losing it.
Correct. Yeah, it
makes sense.
eliminates some of the risk that you potentially have. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hi.
Eric, do you sorry, before you
Yeah.
move on, do you have any like resources that you recommend for like what to look for when walking a property?
The big ticket items.
Like cracks in the foundation
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Separation of the wall, crack in the foundation. Look if you see cracks in the ceiling, cracks around the windows.
also
How does the floor feel? Is the floor going like this? Then can you go underneath and check it out? And this is normal for an old house, but you still want to make sure it's sturdy and steady, right? Does the roof leak? Is the HVAC working? Is the wire, is it copper wire or is it updated wire, right? If you see those knobs that you have to turn instead of doing a breaker that you flip on and off, then you're probably gonna do the entire electric system. Is there copper piping? Can you see, is there a drain PVC plumbing in the yard? They have a top that you can take off and then run a line through. Do you see that? If you don't see it, do we know if it's a copper piping or not? And sometimes you can poke with a stick and you can find where the pipe is. You can also see where it comes out of the wall in the property. Is that copper? Because or cast iron. If it's cast iron, put it in your budget to replace it because there will be an issue with that. And if it's not, then lucky you just save yourself $6,000-$7,000 to replace that, right?
any books or videos on inspection that you recommend?
No, I don't. I have not read it, but a guy that is really where's his book here? Brian Panada. He is from where is his book? Here. Yeah. First book on the shelf. That's why I couldn't see it. Flip Your Future. He is a big flipper. By Ryan Piana. This guy, if you see him on Facebook.
Yeah, I've seen them.
So he kind of goes into wholesaling. And he not only is a wholesaler, makes millions of dollars doing that, but he has different shows or programs, and then he does this some numbers in there. I really like this when I got started, and he was really quick in making a business that is very systematized. So I really liked his book as far as when it goes to Flip Your Future.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead, Lice.
Yeah, so you see Fayetteville going on the same upward trend as Durham?
Yeah. Oh, do I? No.
Why not?
No, I do see that there's more demand in Fayetteville because there's 85,000 new troops coming from Texas. So I do see a demand going there. No, I'm not so bullish on military towns. Now it's a good town for wholesale.
Yeah, I've been sourcing from Fayetteville lately, and PK is a big investor in Fayetteville, right?
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay, PK, you and I should exchange contact info. Or Eric, you could connect us, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Send me an email and I'll connect you guys.
Cool, yeah. Or I can text you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, and I'll text you guys. Yep. Marty, last question. I plan to manage my first flip solo, but feeling a big confidence gap regarding the project managing responsibilities. How did you overcome the initial fear of managing so many moving parts? And what advice can you do? I started with one flip as well, and I was there every single day. I worked from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then from 3 p.m. onwards, I was at my flip, picking up material, looking at what they had done. And I just became familiar with stuff. Before you do a flip, Marty, make sure that you have a line item quote. Flooring, 6,000. Toilet, 200. And you're not going to pay until a line item is done. You're not going to advance any money.
Okay.
My wife did that when I was gone to Europe. She wanted the contractor to paint. It was many years ago, but I was already in the business. And I got so mad at her. Like, my number one rule, and you cheated on me, pay a contractor. And he never came back because he had to file a police report on him. Do never pay a contractor up front.
Do you happen to have a sample scope of work you're willing to share? Because I know I can like Google that, but I would love to see something that's already been used between an investor and a contractor.
I don't have a scope of work because every property is different. But if you email me, I can show you my inventory list. So we do send a SKU list to our contractors to say this is the product that you need to use. I even have mood boards. So what is the mood? What is the feeling that we're trying to create? So that they know what we're trying to create. But I do have a contractor's guide. I call that. Hey, here are my SKU numbers you got to use. This is the paint colors you need to use and stuff like that.
Cool. Thank you.
Scope of work is always different. Every single property.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi guys. Let's make 2026 a fantastic year. It's going to be a fantastic year. It's going to be a fantastic year for all of you guys, for everybody, for Tria as well. We're going to see much change, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. See you Thursday, and if you don't see you Thursday, I hope to see you on the show and tell. See you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.